a special needs parent, and I'll speak for myself because we're all human and different. But there was everything from, is there something wrong with me? This was our first child. So, am I genetically broken somehow that I wasn't aware of? Uh, there was an element of shame when you think of, other kids from your prenatal class are now starting to sit up or starting to say their first word or starting to walk, and you're just trying to get your child off all the medical equipment and bandages and out of the hospital. Um, and so there's that. There's, life goes on. If you've ever had somebody die and gone to a funeral, it can seem bizarre going back and forth to the funeral and somebody else is stopping for a slushie at the corner store, and it's like, really, who has time for slushies right now? We're dealing with a funeral, people. Um, but when you're dealing with what turned out to be a palliative care situation for 2.5 decades, the whole world can't stop because you're in a medical crisis. And most of the time, medical crisis only lasts a few days, weeks, or months. So 2.5 decades of being on an alternative track, just, I don't think it's a lot different than what other people experience, except it's just turned up to 10 and then stretched out over a really bizarre length of time. Even if a family member gets a cancer diagnosis, they last a few years. Sorry to phrase it that way, but and then there's a period of mourning and then there's a period of adjustment. That never starts when it's a 24 plus year journey. And so I tackled this material from the perspective of how do I deal with life? And then when I was done, it turned into books. But it definitely didn't start with the idea of I'm going to publish this.
Right. More a healing journey for yourself
Exactly.
personally. And
Exactly.
you talk about the overwhelming responsibility that
Hmm.
you have as a parent. And when you think about first time parents, I do a program called Pregnancy to Infancy, where I take
Hmm.
parents on the last 6 months of pregnancy into the first 6 months of infancy because no one's prepared to be a parent.
Yeah,
Your parents will tell you that, oh, it's like this, until you have that baby in your arms and you are responsible for that baby 24/7. Nobody can tell you what that's like.
totally.
And like you said, so now you not just have a baby in your arms, you have a baby that needs special care round the clock. So, like, it is even that more monumental. And I'm sure many times you were like, oh, can we even do this? What? And you have no choice. What's
Mm.
your choice? But it's like, I need to work. I need to, we need to nurture our existing family. And now we have this whole additional, very demanding thing thrown into the loop. But this is our child
Yeah,
and we have to do it.
yeah. Yeah, it was, and there's a bizarre level of, if any of your listeners are special needs parents who may recognize this, there's also this weird subtext of things that go on. Like when you present your child at a hospital, there's questions that you start realizing, oh, they're checking if I'm abusing my child because the child's doing so poorly. Uh, and you start realizing, can we get past that, please?